I want to talk about the living wage. Too often we're talking about minimum wage when really what matters is the living wage. Minimum wage it kind of ends up just being an arbitrary number. Living wage is what it takes basically to be okay. It's not just your needs for housing, for shelter, for food. It's for the other stuff like, let's say, clothing, soap, toothpaste, etc. Living wage is not even talking about enough to go to the movies, to go on a trip, to go have fun. It's enough to exist. It's important that we talk about poverty wage too, because poverty wage is enough not to cover like the little extras and everything, but just enough to cover your rent and your food. Now, MIT put together a great tool for us, and there are two people responsible for this. Got Dr. Amy Glassmeyer and Tracy Farragon. And what they put together is a tool that lets us find what the living wage is anywhere in the United States. Let's take a look at California. Minimum wage in California is $15.50. So what would an adult with no kids have to make? They'd have to make $21.24 an hour. So already you can see that one adult is $6.24 short. And of course it only gets worse if you start bringing kids into the mix. So one adult with one kid, one adult with two kids, one adult with three kids. There are going to be plenty of people out there who are going to say, well, yeah, but that should be a two-parent family. There should be two working adults in that home, okay? Fine, let's look at two working adults, but let's look at them first with no kids. So two working adults with no kids, they need to each be making $16.15 an hour. How are we doing as a country? This chart's really helpful. Statista gives us this chart which shows us the living wage gap. In other words, the difference between the minimum wage and the living wage in every state of the country. How are we doing? We suck. Every state in the United States has a gap between the minimum wage and the living wage. And I know we're going to have all those people who are going to be quick to jump in here and say, well, yeah, those jobs are starter jobs for high school students. We know that's BS, because who's serving us our burger at 11:30 on a school day in September? So this is why I argue that we have really got to keep the conversation focused on living wage, not just minimum wage. Okay, there's my chicken. All right, no more chicken. All right, so apparently that's your Gen Explorer podcast for tonight. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following. For those of you on TikTok, thank you for duetting and stitching. Hopefully we'll keep this going and do some more of this.